take the lead of every step I make, even if you tell my feet to wait. 'Cause where you are is where I wanna be. The depth of me is calling for the deep. I don't want it if you're not in it. I just want you.
Well, good morning, Lufkin Central and online worship community. Jason Hollinger, the campus and community minister here. And for our time in Jesus and Coffee this morning, we are continuing through the Sermon on the Mount. Today, we're going to look at Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 through 12. It's titled Ask, Seek, Knock, but really you could add a word and a few letters to that by saying keep asking, seeking, and knocking. You know, when we as we looked at yesterday, the first 6 verses of this chapter, it's kind of united around this theme of how believers treat each other, and specifically in judging or not judging one another, while then 7 through 11 illustrate how God treats his people. And then kind of verse 12 really, as one commentator says, rounds out this section and probably summarizes the body of the sermon as a whole. And so just looking at this, and so just something to kind of think about as we then jump into this section that in many ways could be called God's generosity if we keep asking, seeking, and knocking. So Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 through 12, hear the word of the Lord. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And the one who knocks, the door will be open. Which of you, and again, just kind of like yesterday, he makes a statement and then says, talking about a speck and a plank, a speck in one eye and a plank in the other. You can't treat these things. Well, he kind of goes on another, gives another hyperbole, if you will, gives another, or this case, gives another scenario. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? How many of us, we think that, nobody would do that, right? Or if he asked for a fish, would give him a snake. If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, so even in spite of your shortcomings of imperfection and you know not total and complete goodness, even with all of that, he says, you know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? How much, Matthew 5 began to close out, so be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect, 5:48. Yes, there is a godly perfection that we ourselves cannot match, but we can strive to be more mature, more spiritually mature every day. We can keep asking and seeking and knocking, and so this is kind of in many ways helps us to to reach that goal someday, where when in the presence of God eternally we are perfect. So he says, how much more, if you have the ability to give good gifts, how much more will your Father in heaven uh, give good gifts to those who ask him? Verse 12. Well, what we talk about, kind of summarize everything. So in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. And so when we think about this, you know, thinking of this principle of verse 12, one commentator says Jesus tells how God treats people at least as well and often, even better, than they treat each other. So, yes, Jesus tells us how God treats people as well and often even better than we treat each other. And so, remember, as we think about this before in this connection with our relationships with others, chapter 5, those characteristics, those three major characteristics that come from that are, you know, kingdom servants behavior, behaviors of those who are kingdom servants. And then again, how we treat others, judging them or not, and then how God treats us. Ultimately, he says, do to others as you would have them do to you. As you think about that, as you think about your role in that, as you think about how uh, Jesus continued every day in spite of everything that was being done to him along the way. The words of hatred, the walls that were put up around him to try to stop everything that he was doing. We look at the rhetorical questions, if you will, from 9 and 10. They ask for bread, they ask for fish. We're we're not inclined then to give a stone and give a snake. The good gifts says we give bread and we give fish. And really, the good gifts, as our buddy Clay Mason up in Trinidad, Colorado does, the first fruits, the best, because others deserve the best. Others deserve the opportunity to receive the best of what we have to offer. A lot of times when I put together uh, to-go plates that I give out to the homeless, I'll write on there on top what's inside, and I'll have kind of some different options because I want them to be able to receive something. I want them to be able to look and say, okay, because you go to a restaurant, I go to a restaurant, we look at a menu and we see those things that we want. We pick and choose those things. Everybody deserves the right to receive the best, to be able to choose what they want, to be able to choose what they can have. And today you have the opportunity to keep on choosing, to ask, seek, and knock of the one who gives good gifts, better than we could ever give. So that's my challenge to you today. Find a way to show the goodness of God through your actions, through your the way you speak to and the way you see others and the way you help and lead and serve others. I can't wait to hear and see how it goes. You'll have a great day. God bless.
I don't want it if you're not in it. I just want you. Your heart, your ways, show me your face, your song, and your voice break through the noise. I don't want it if you're not in it. I just want you. No, I don't want it if you're not in it. I just want you, God. Whisper to me secrets of your heart, 'cause I want to discover all you are. I'm leaning into heaven for a glimpse, and I will partner with your presence here again. I don't want it if you're not in it. I just want you. I don't want it if you're be my everything. All that I dream, lay it at your feet. All that I am, falling on my knees. I surrender, I surrender. All that I see, be my everything. All that I dream, lay it at your feet. All that I am, falling on my knees. I surrender.